Shalom. First thing and foremost, I'm going to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakadash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Noah's in the gospel abroad, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, wherever they may be. This is the Aki of Mahaloya coming back with another lesson through the Spirit. Lord's would it be edifying. This is just a quick lesson submitted in a 23-second video titled Listen Up, Eve and Jake. And it was going into basically how the street nigga or the street man or the street thug or the hood nigga is basically like equivalent to that of a woman. And the Jake really goes in on it, in a short video to break down the depiction of how street men that grew up without fathers in the homes, they tend to be aggressive. They tend to be very combative and abrasive. And basically they was comparing that with the likes of a woman, man, which it makes a lot of sense, man. Because, when you come from certain cities or demographics and you come up in certain neighborhoods, you see this often repeated cycle of male energy, man. Okay, appearing to be masculine, but yet they're hiding their emotions behind this hardcore thuggish type demeanor, but yet they're really insecure beta males, man. Okay, they're really and they're really women because growing up in a single parent household, this harbors that particular attitude because off the rip, male figures are naturally designed to protect. Okay, they naturally have a protective type demeanor because that's the nature of a man. We naturally are protectors. So when you grew up in a house full of women, okay, and no man is around to really give you guidance into to channel into those aggressive feelings you may have, or that testosterone or that aggression, a lot of times it get misused, man. Okay, and then it gets played out in other endeavors in life. So I just got a couple of precepts, but I definitely want to play this video because, hey, I mean, he said a lot within his 1 minute and 23-second video. Okay, I mean, I've seen this firsthand. I've witnessed it. I've seen guys that come up in this environment. Even shit myself, just to be honest, I've grown up in a hostile environment, living in Chicago and being around, hoods and certain shit and men like that. And then, just trial through error. So I've seen it. I've experienced it personally, But regardless of that, luckily I was fortunate enough to have stable male figures at a central point in my life. Not all the time, but in most parts when I needed it most, I've had stable male figures for the most part to kind of help me out. But overall, it's pretty hard coming up in the inner city, having a single parent household. It's just, you don't learn a lot. I say it this way, you learn a lot about yourself when you come in this truth, man. And I'm just speaking in general as far as, how we can learn from these things, because a real man, he ain't got to go out there and prove a point like he's Billy Badass. It just when the time proves, then, he's going to do what he got to do. But this is beta male, this is woman energy here. Okay, and this dude is going to break it down. So here we go.
They propagate gangsterism. Women think that's a street dude ain't no different than a female. They propagate gangsterism. Women think that's masculinity. It's a call for help. Street dudes grew up without a father.
All the time, we're going to teach him not to be in the streets.
But listen, when you stand at a street dude, what did he do? You looking at? What you looking at, nigga? That's the same thing that women do. When you staring at a woman, it's like, oh boy, what you looking at? They got the same energy as a woman. It just has a different frequency to it. You got the same energy. When you're over emotional, that creates toxicity. Your emotions is not in balance with logic. Like they dealing with a lot of internal problems. Propagate gangsterism, and women think that's masculinity. Smoking all day, popping pills, flashing the money. They trying to compensate for the lack thereof. Something happened to that man when he was a little boy. A lot of them deal with a lot of mental issues, while a lot of them are really like low-key homosexuals too.
I heard about that. I did hear about that.
A lot of street people are really that, But a lot of women today, they really think that like, oh, he a street dude, He's listening to NBA YoungBoy. That's Bay right there. That's Bay. You got, they think that's like masculine energy. A masculine man is always a very logical man, not an emotional man. Emotional people act on impulse.
Yeah, man, logical within reason, okay? Because us as men, we have to deal with logic and reason. And there's a couple of scriptures that really goes into that about how a man is counted wise even if he keep his mouth shut, or basically walk not in the way of a bold fellow. Also, there's another scripture that go into before you do anything, seek counsel, because see, one of Jake's main problems is they don't have the right counsel. Okay, Keisha, or you, when you have a woman that's in your head or in your ear, and you have a mother, a sister, a little sister, grandmother, auntie, because let's just face it, there's always more women in the family than men. Okay, that's just part of the curses, and on top of that, women just outnumber men 7-1. You know, so but nonetheless, Jake is obtaining the wrong counsel, man. Okay, and this is the reason why Jake grows up aggressive, because this is what they know, this is what they see. They're seeing his behavior in their mothers, and then before you know it, she brings a nigger around that's a street cat, and he's exemplifying the same behavior. So this is who you look up to. You know, like we grew up on, you know what I'm saying, myself, I grew up in the 90s, so we had men like R. Kelly, we had NWA, we had Bone Thugs, we had Crucial Conflict, Tupac, Biggie, you know what I'm saying? All these men, which technically they wasn't really good role models, okay, but they portrayed a type of masculine type energy, but it was all to destroy us. You know what I'm saying? And I remember it was a podcast that this rapper by the name of Crazy Bone from Bone Thugs and Harmony, he said, look, man, we didn't realize that we was used to promote an agenda. And back in my mind, I'm like, this nigga's lying through his teeth, because I'm like, even if you didn't know then, now you know. But even then, it's just like, okay, if you know that now, then what message are you bringing to the forefront today? Because when you do your concerts, because everybody like your old shit, you're rapping about your old shit, you gang banging, robbing niggas, jumping on people, you know what I'm saying, running from the fade, all that wickedness, man. But these are the men who we grew up under, because we didn't have really good role models, and that's all part of the curses, man. Okay? Which I'm like, nothing's wrong with good music. Music is music, but we actually wanted to be these guys, man. We actually looked up to them. We actually thought it was a badge of honor to want to be part of something, but that goes back to the curses, man. Okay? So anyway, this is the book of Isaiah 1, and I'm going to start at verses 3. It says, the owner knoweth his master. No, Salaki, the ox knoweth his owner, and the ass the master's crib, but Israel do not know. They do not even consider, okay? And our people aren't considering that they are the children of the Heavenly Father. Okay, when we've come up in life, we've been thrown white Jesus at us, a white God, white angels. Okay, we've been given the Bible from a Christian perspective, and that shit never really resonated with Jake. You know what I'm saying? We went to church because we felt we had to, but that shit never resonated with us, man. Just as a boy in my spirit, I'm like, man, nah, I'm like, he can't be white. I said, he can't be white. I'm like, it's something off about this. You know what I'm saying? It just don't make sense. It's not congruent to my spirit, you know? But it says, our sinful nation, a people lined with iniquity and the seed of evil doers. Children that are corrupters, man. And Jake is hella corrupt because they grew up in this system. Okay, this system is responsible head over fist for mentally destroying Jake and physically destroying Jake. Because a lot of men have grown up to be homosexuals because they come from diverse, or not diverse, but they come from these weird households with these degenerative parents. You may have had an uncle or auntie that made a felt on the kid, you know what I'm saying? And then before you know it, he was 5 years old, acting like a man fucking boy, man. You know what I'm saying? A lady boy. It's total madness. And it says, children as are corrupters, they have forsaken the Lord. They have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger. It says they have gone away backwards, man, okay? And we're revolted. And this is the result of the fatherless, man, okay? Because overall, we didn't have sustainable fathers in our lives, nor mothers, you know? But it says here, why should you be stricken anymore? It says you will revolt more and more, and the whole head is sick, and the whole heart is faint. Okay, it says the whole head is sick, okay? The whole mind, meaning mental illnesses, okay? Jake, like the guy said in the video, he said most of these guys, they are trying to prove a point. They've been emasculated, and ultimately, you know, they feel incomplete. Okay, and why is that? Because for the simple fact they've grown up with degenerate parents or with a wicked mother, man. Okay, because the mother teaches that behavior is sexy, because this is the type of dynamic she brings around her child. And it says, from the sole of the foot even into the head, there is no soundness in it. Okay, you have no common sense. You have no spiritual discernment. None of these things. And it says here, there is no soundness in it, but in it wounds and bruises and putrefying sores. It says they have not been closed, neither have they been bound up, neither mollified with ointment. Because really, these leaders like Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Frederick Douglass, Charles Drew, W.E.B. Du Bois, okay, just to name a few of these his so-called historians, none of these men really healed Jake. Okay, Minister Louis Farrakhan, what's this other guy's name? Elijah Muhammad. These niggas wasn't for Jake's benefit, man. You see what I'm saying? They didn't heal us, but instead they kept us back to sleep. You see? But this truth, this awakening of the men of the Lord out on the highways and the byways is the true awakening that the Most High told that was going to befall the people in the last days. All right. So this is the book of Deuteronomy 28, and I'm going to start at verses 54. It says here, so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye should be evil towards his brother. Now, when you listen to these rap songs, like I like hip hop, I like shit with a good beat, I like classical, I like country, I like all types of music. You know what I'm saying? But when you listen to drill music or hip hop, it puts you in a certain type of vibe. When you listen to those records, it's mainly black on black crime or Jake on Jake crime. You know, I'm gonna shoot that nigga, kill that nigga, fuck this nigga, bitch. Even 90s R&B, basically you had men like R. Kelly, like Bump and Grind or Keep It on the Down Low. That was about committing adultery with another Jake's woman, man. Okay, and this is the type of vibration Jake grew up under, which breeds the degeneracy we see in today. And then when you got a bunch of degenerates breeding more degenerates, then what's gonna come from that? A group of fucking degenerates, man. And this is why you got these little 5-6-year-old girls singing Sexy Red, you know, singing what's this chick's name? Glorilla. You know, all this abomination because this is what they know. But it says his eye should be evil towards the brother and towards the wife of his bosom, and he should leave the remnant of his children which he shall leave, man. Okay? So that's the point. Rob fatherless. There's a lot of scriptures goes into us being the fatherless, man. Let me find it. And that's ultimately part of the curses. Yeah, you over and dig a pit for your friend. Job 22:9, that's a good one. Isaiah 1:17. Yep. This is the book of Isaiah 1:17. Matter of fact, I'm in that chapter anyway. It says, learn to do well, seek judgment, relieve the oppressed, judge the fatherless, plead for the widows, man. Okay, but it says their princes are rebellious and companions of thieves. Everyone loveth gifts and follow after their rewards. Sounds like Jake. They judge not the fatherless, neither do they cause the widow to come into them, man. Okay. Isaiah 9:17, it says, therefore the Lord shall have no joy over their young men, neither shall he have mercy on their fatherless and widows, man. Who was the fatherless? Jake. Okay, because they were without. It says, and for everyone is a hypocrite and an evildoer, and every mouth speaketh folly. You know, all this hip hop shit, this gang culture shit is all dumb shit, man. Yeah, like I said, yeah, I listen to rap music. You know, I got a couple of artists I like to hear. I like their beats and stuff. But overall, Jake and the world is locked into this shit because a meeting came out with these executives of Amalekite origin that they came to the round table to invest in private prisons to push rap music to pretty much get Jake locked up in the 90s, man. This is why prisons are privately owned, man. Every prison in the United States, they're privately owned, okay? And they're getting rich off the backs of slaves in that thing. This is why you had who they call NWA. This is why you had Ghetto Boys, Scarface, Ice Cube, Eazy-E. All them guys were nothing. They were just part of a genocidal experiment, man. They were told to push this and we'll give you X amount of money. Even if they didn't fully understand, the leaders of those groups had to understand because a lot of men walked away from that meeting being dissatisfied. Like, nah, I can't have this. I can't have this, man. I can't destroy my people without a conscience like that. But like people like, you know what I'm saying, Michael Jordan, LeBron, you know, Oprah Winfrey, all these niggas invest in private prisons, invest in stock in prisons because they making money off you niggas, man. Okay? And it says here, and widows, for every one of them is a hypocrite and an evildoer, and every mouth speaketh folly. It says, for all his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still, because there's still a chance for Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai to do righteousness, man, with us, man. Okay? Jeremiah 49:11, and it reads here, it says, leave the fatherless children, I will preserve them alive, but let thy widows trust in me, man. And thy widows represents like going into like the women of our nation, because technically they don't really have husbands because, I mean, they can't really be wives. But overall, you know, our nation is broken because, you know, we went off. We were thrown into captivity. But the widows being, the elect women of our nation, and then, we're the fatherless in general. You see? But nonetheless, man, hey, the Lord is building us back up, and he's bringing us back into remembrance of the law, statutes, and commandments, man. And this is the reason why this heavy awakening is among us. All right, let me go here to the book of Sirach, the 3rd chapter real quick. Kind of all over the place, but Salaki, man, I just did this lesson on the fly. Yep, this is the book of Sirach 3, and I'm gonna start at verses. And this is a good chapter, Sirach 3, and I'm gonna start at 1. It says, "Hear me, your father, O children, and do thereafter, that ye may be safe." It says, "For the Lord have given the father honor over the children, and have confirmed the authority of the mother over the sons." Like a lot of Jake's are naturally mama's boy. Like when you go into the story of Jacob and Esau, technically Jacob was considered a mother's boy. Like I would say, through him and Esau, I would say that Jacob was probably Rebecca's favorite, because she the one that put the spirit on him to supplant his ass, man. Okay, but it says here, "Whosoever honor his father, making an atonement for his sins," and Jake don't honor their father. Okay, Jake hates their fathers based on some one-sided narrative that they ratchet ass mother gave them, man. "Oh, well, your father left me to deal with other women. He didn't want to have nothing to do with you." Yet the whole time, this man was trying to have something to do with the kid. He wanted to be in the kid's life, but she was being funny, not wanting the kid to come around the other side of the family, trying to put this man under certain pretenses on how he can see the kid, or putting the man on, giving the man certain ultimatums in order for him to have a relationship with this kid. And most men ain't gonna deal with that shit. Like, I gotta sit up here and be with you, take your shit, let you be a hoe, disrespect me just to have a relationship with this nigga. Fuck it, I'll go make another baby with somebody else. And that's why Jake really leaves, man. Because the minute that you start dealing with these women and you put a baby in them, it's like Satan times 144,000 comes upon these women, man. Quick little story, man. When my child was born, that's when my whole relationship with my child's mother just totally disintegrated. Yeah, we had our problems before then, but we was in the process of fixing our problems, because I'm like, all right, the baby's gonna be born. The night my daughter was born and we took her back to the house, her mother was like, "You can't come over here no more." I'm like, "Bitch, are you serious?" All because me and her used to get into it over shit that she was doing. Me being a man trying to bring order into my house. The doctor was like, she suffered from postpartum depression. I'm like, you fucking demon, that come from, most women go through that shit. And on top of that, it comes from the hyperthorough injections you give them. It comes from all of the shit, that the medicines, the juice they put in these women. And these women are just bugged the fuck out because they've dealt with too many men. Okay, that shit ain't got nothing to do with what the fuck we went through. Most women experience, a woman can give baby without the father, she gonna suffer postpartum depression, man. That's part of the side effect of being induced with these wicked ass chemicals in here, man. But the bitch straight up told me, she said, "You can't come back over here no more." I was like, "That's cool. Fuck it." And I was like, at that point, I shouldn't even sign the birth certificate. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. It's all good. So throughout the years, I did what I can do to maintain a relationship with my daughter, Came down here to Missouri and shit, moved them down here. Well, technically, she chased me down here, but got us a place. The bitch still went act right. I kicked out, told her to get the fuck out my house, man. And that was it, So, hey, it is what it is. But anyway, it says here, that he that have honor over his mother is one that layeth up treasure. But it says, "Whosoever honor his father shall have joy of his own children. And when he maketh his prayer, he should be heard," man. And that's one thing about myself. I've always honored my father. You know what I'm saying? I always honor my father. Like, no matter what, I always loved him. I don't give a fuck what type of boogeyman story my mother gave me of this man. I can never look at him in a bad light, because he's never done anything bogus to me. And the Lord put that spirit on me to realize that shit, because I realized my mother was a demon at a young age. I'm like, this woman ain't fucking right. You know what I'm saying? You gotta fuck, you tell your 6-year-old son that your father is this and this and that. Like, you don't tell no fucking kid that shit. You know what I'm saying? But then, you know what I'm saying? I'm seeing niggas pull up to the crib, motherfucking niggas calling the phone and shit, and then I gotta lie and say she ain't here. In the back of my mind, I'm like, why the fuck you get a nigga your number? You out here playing a hoe. You know what I'm saying? And then you get mad when these niggas are popping up on you. You fucking dummy. And that's what I was thinking in my mind about her ass, man. And I'm just being real. Our mothers are wicked. You know what I'm saying? Our mothers are wicked, and they're suffering from that shit now. And it's the same bullshit ass cycle of abuse, man. And this is why we got to get the hell up out of here, because this shit ain't gonna never end, man. You know, it's sad at the end of the day because it's not supposed to be like that. But this is the Lord punishing us because we went off. All right. But it says, whosoever honored his father shall have joy of his own children. And when he maketh his prayer, he should be heard. It says, he that honor his father shall have a long life, man. And he that is obedient to Yahweh should be a comfort to his mother. But he that feareth the Lord will honor his father and will do service unto his parents as to his masters, because your parents are your first masters outside of the Lord. It says, honor thy father and thy mother both in word and deed, that a blessing may come upon thee from them. For the blessing of the father established the houses of children, and the curse of the mother rooted out foundations. And my father's dead, but he's in the spirit world. It's in a different realm, so to speak. But nonetheless, you know, the father established the houses of children because it came out that a single father is better with raising the kids than a single mother. Okay, oftentimes if the child stays with the father, the child almost 90% of the time ends up better off. Okay, because us as men, we're natural nurturers. We put down the law and we protect, man. Like my daughter, she won't try me. She'll try mother before she try me because she know I'm gonna get on her head about it. Like, what are you doing? You're not bringing that bullshit down here. You keep that out there. And the children, they know, man. You know, but see, the woman knows that shit, so she's, you know, she's just a demon. But it says, for the blessing of fathers established the houses of children, but the curse of the mothers rooted out foundation. Okay, and we're seeing it. But it says, glory not in dishonor of thy father, for thy father dishonors no glory in thee. And this is why jakes are getting fucked up out here, because most of these jakes, they hate their fathers, or they never knew their fathers. You know what I'm saying? And oftentimes the woman don't even know who the father is because she's been basically playing Hebrew hopscotch. You know, hop and ride the ride, man. And then they want to blame everybody else. No, for your decision. No, you chose to be a hoe, so deal with it, man. All right. Let me see here. Real quick. I love the book of Baruch, man. All right, this is the book of Baruch 3, and I'm going to start at verses 1. It says, O Lord Almighty, Yahweh of Israel, power of Israel, the soul in anguish, the troubled spirit cried unto thee, and that's us. Hear, O Yahweh, and have mercy, for thou art merciful, and have pity upon us. It says, we have sinned before thee, okay, and we all has went off, okay, we still going off, you know, but it's through the Lord's mercies that he's not going to destroy us. It says, for thou endurest forever, and we perish utterly. But O Lord Almighty, thou power of Israel, hear now the prayers of the dead Israelites and of their children which have sinned before thee, and not hearkened unto the voice of their God. It says, for the which caused the plagues to cleave upon us. But remember not the iniquities of our forefathers, but think upon thy power and thy name now at this time. For thou art the Lord our power, and thee, O Lord, will we praise. And for this cause thou hast put thy fear in our hearts, to the intent that we should call upon thy name, that go thy name, Nate, and praise thee in our captivity. We're in slavery now. For we have called to mind all the iniquities of our forefathers that sinned before thee. But behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us, for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our power. So hear, Israel, the commandments of life, and give ear to understand wisdom. All right. So anyway, I'm going to end it there, giving all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Lord's will, you were edified into the next lesson.